In today's video, I am going to explain anatomy and function of iliacus. Iliacus is deep hip muscle, that is this one. First thing first, in reality, iliacus is much wider than it looks in this picture. Imagine iliacus is very wide, fan-shaped muscle deep to abdominal area. This is very deep muscle. I'm going to explain its origin, insertion, and function. As I said, iliacus is bigger than it looks in this picture. Origin of iliacus is about here. This is where origin is. The famous origin is iliac fossa. Iliac fossa. Fossa means concave surface in anatomical terminology. Inside part of pelvis there is big fossa, right? This is iliac fossa. Again, iliacus is wider than it looks. So surprisingly, iliacus attaches to sacrum, just tip of sacrum. That's surprising, right? If this muscle attaches to sacrum, then if iliacus gets tight, there's some kind of effect for sacrum. That means tightness of iliacus may trigger low back pain because tension and mobility of sacrum is very important for low back pain. Anyway, iliac fossa and sacrum, just tip of sacrum. Then there's more attachment. Let's say there's ligament around sacroiliac joint. Iliacus attaches to anterior sacroiliac ligament. Anterior sacroiliac ligament. Sacroiliac ligament that connects sacrum and ilium. Sacrum and ilium. That means this ligament connects sacroiliac joint. Again, this joint is freaking important for low back pain. Iliacus attaches to this ligament. Then what happens if iliacus gets tight? That may aggravate tension of this ligament. That may trigger low back pain. See? Iliacus is actually important for sacrum and low back. Very important muscle. Okay, one more ligament. There is ligament called iliolumbar ligament. Iliolumbar ligament. This ligament connects lumbar spine and ilium. Look at that. Iliacus attaches to two ligaments. Two important ligaments for pelvic girdle. Then don't forget, iliacus attaches to sacrum. Oh my gosh, you don't see this kind of a detailed information on anatomy book. You have to look detailed anatomy on internet or Google. If you Google iliacus and the ligaments, you find that. This is very deep information. Anyway, this is origin. Origin is basically iliac fossa, sacrum, and ligament tissue. Let's go to insertion. Insertion is about here, this pointy part. This is lesser trochanter. Lesser trochanter is deep posterior to femur. By the way, this is greater trochanter. It's easy to see greater trochanter. However, on the other hand, lesser trochanter is fairly deep structure. It is a little bit hard to palpate. Okay, lesser trochanter. Deep structure. Now, there's one more muscle attaches to lesser trochanter. That is psoas. Psoas is kind of a friend of iliacus. This is iliacus and this is psoas. Then these two muscles kind of unite together, kind of fuse together. Then these muscles are called as iliopsoas. Iliopsoas, then it goes to lesser trochanter. Relationship between psoas and iliacus are very, very important. Now let me talk about its function. Alright, since iliacus crosses hip joint, this muscle can move hip joint. What kind of movement is that? There are two movements. One main movement is hip flexion. Hip flexion, very important hip flexor. Then one more movement, that is external rotation. External rotation, hip flexion and hip external rotation. Don't forget, iliacus attaches to ilium. What if iliacus pulls pelvis this way? What kind of movement is that? That is anterior tilt. Anterior tilt of pelvis, very important thing. Of course, psoas does hip flexion and hip external rotation because they unite together. However, psoas does not do anterior tilt of pelvis. Why is that? Because psoas attaches to lumbar spines. This muscle doesn't attach to pelvis. See that? Psoas does not move pelvis. This muscle moves lumbar spine. Anyhow, movement of iliacus, flexion, external rotation, and anterior tilt. Then let me explain important connection with nervous tissue. Alright, you see many nervous tissue. Here is iliacus again. I have to keep repeating. Iliacus is much wider than it looks in this picture. Don't forget, it attached to sacrum, anterior sacroiliac ligament, and iliolumbar ligament. This is very wide muscle. You see many nervous tissues. Actually, iliacus has relationship with many nervous tissues, particularly around lumbar plexus. What is lumbar plexus? Lumbar plexus is bundle of nerves that emerge from lumbar spine. They go to core muscles, they go to genital area, they go to anterior thigh and medial thigh. Very important nervous tissues. This nerve has relationship with iliacus. Look at that, very close. This is lateral femoral cutaneous. Lateral femoral cutaneous nerve. This nerve takes sensory information around thigh, particularly on lateral part. Number one, lateral femoral cutaneous. Next nerve is this one, this big nerve. This is femoral nerve. Femoral nerve. Let's go to next one. Next one is this one. This is genitofemoral. Genitofemoral nerve. See that? It's close to iliacus. Next one is deep nerve. That is this one. This is obturator nerve. Obturator nerve is very deep and very on medial part. It looks like it doesn't have relationship with iliacus. Don't forget, iliacus is very wide muscle. Very wide. Then now it looks like there's relationship between obturator nerve and iliacus. Next one is kind of group of nerve. There is nervous tissue between lumbar spines and sacrum. That's from sacrum. There is a junction that's nerve from lumbar spines and nerve from sacrum. Yep, there's junction between these two segments. This nerve is called lumbosacral trunk. Again, this is kind of a junction between nerves from lumbar spines and nerves from sacrum. This junction has also relationship with iliacus. Oh my gosh, this muscle has so many relationship with nervous tissues. Lateral femoral cutaneous, femoral nerve, genitofemoral nerve, obturator nerve, and lumbosacral trunk. Then what if iliacus gets tight? That may aggravate nervous tissue function. Then that can trigger numbness, pain, muscle dysfunction, and so many things. Plus, this muscle attaches to sacrum and ligaments around sacroiliac joint. No wonder, no doubt, this muscle is so important for pelvic movement, hip movement, and low back pain, hip low back dysfunction. Freaking important place. So in today's video, I explained basic anatomy and function of iliacus. I explained its origin, insertion, function, and relationship with nervous tissues. If you liked today's video, please hit the like button, comment, and subscribe. See you next video.